Hi friends, welcome to our channel Aquatic Fish Doctor. Many want to breed flowerhorn pair, either it is a SRD or KML or Magma. Everyone wants to breed flowerhorn. But unfortunately, the information available for the breeding of flowerhorn is very limited, and most probably they misguide or the information will not be sufficient for the hobbyists to breed the flowerhorn. Through this video, we are going to share the each and every basic tips for the breeding of flowerhorn fishes. We have been breeding flowerhorn since 2005, and we have different varieties of flowerhorn like SRD, Toysil, KML, Magma, and other varieties in our flower farm. So through this video, I am going to tell you the basic techniques and tips and tricks of the breeding of flowerhorn fish. It may come in several parts, like up to part 5 or part 4. So I don't know how long it will take to cover the entire text, because I want to tell each and every aspect of flowerhorn breeding in detail. So without skipping, watch the entire all parts to understand the flowerhorn breeding. It is very easy. I tell you, you can definitely breed it. Watch the video, you will definitely breed it. Before starting the flowerhorn breeding program, we should know what are the things we require for breeding flowerhorn fish. Flowerhorn fish can be bred in a cement tank or earthen pond or in a glass tank. Most of the time, flowerhorn breeding happens in the glass tank. There are several advantages of this glass tank. We can easily control the parents for breeding purpose and water changing. We can easily identify the egg laying time. So there are many advantages in the glass tank. So that is the reason throughout the world many choose glass tank for breeding the flora. So now the question comes, what is the size of glass tank required? You can breed flowerhorn in a small tank of 2 by 1 by 1.5, 2 feet length, 1 feet breadth and 1.5 feet height. This is the minimum size. If you have bigger tank like 3 feet or 4 feet length, it will be ideal for the breeding of flowerhorn. Okay, this is the basic requirement of the tank. After preparing the tank, you have to make a partition for flowerhorns. That is one side for the male fish and one side for the female fish. What happens when the female is ready to lay eggs? It will develop the tube. There is called as a genital papilla. The tube will down. The female will lay the eggs over the plate. We have to provide one clay pot in the female side. So this is the basic setup. So when you are about to breed the flowerhorn, first of all you have to choose the right pair. That means the male and female should be fertile. There are some cases the female will lay the eggs and male will not fertile. So you have to ensure properly both are fertile. If they are not fertile, you have to go for trial and error method. That means sometimes the male will be fertile and sometimes female will be fertile. You have to identify the right pair and you have to use it for the breeding. So first prepare the tank and keep a partition glass and put male fish one side and female fish another side. Usually you can choose a male fish of size 6 inches and above and female fishes of about 4 inches. Almost half of the male size will be ideal for the female fish. You have to ensure there are sufficient eggs are coming from the female. Through the continuous screening process, you will be able to identify. Even small female of 1.5 inches size will also lay eggs. But what happens when a small female lays eggs, the eggs may not get fertile. The eggs are not fully developed or fully matured. So they will not give birth to the babies. So you have to select a right female of the size equivalent to the male. So this is the thing you have to do. After separating male and female in a partition, you have to feed them live bloodworms. This is the practice what we do in our farm. Why I suggest live bloodworms? It helps for the development of more eggs in the female. There are many foods available for breeding purpose, but I prefer bloodworms. Bloodworms spread some diseases also. We have to be very careful. But bloodworms, live bloodworms is the ideal food. If you don't have live bloodworms, you can go for frozen artemia or frozen bloodworms also. You can try it out. Okay. Now after separating male and female, you have to feed them regularly and monitor them regularly for the development of the tube. The tube is the genital papilla that is coming out when the female is ready to develop the egg laying process. So after the selecting the water quality is the most of the time it plays the critical role in deciding the successful outcome of the flowerhorn breeding process. So the water should not have more TDS. For example, in our farm the water TDS is around 1.8K. It is 1800 ppm. It breeds. But what happens when the water is having more TDS, the number of babies coming out of the eggs will be very less. So what I prefer, you can select a water body, water of quality, TDS around 500 to 600 ppm. That will be ideal for the flowerhorn breeding process. Then the pH should be almost near to the 8. Don't go for the acidic pH. So these are the basic requirements for the flowerhorn breeding process. Just because you are having a corporation water, you don't think that we cannot breed the fishes. Even in corporation water, we can breed the flowerhorn fish. What you have to do, you have to collect all the corporation water, remove the chlorine, and you have to ensure there are no chlorine residues present in the water. There are different products available in the market. Using those products, you have to ensure the absence of chlorine. Then you can use that water for the breeding purpose. You can use bore water or river water or well water or even corporation water. You can use it for breeding. So you have to condition the water for the breeding purpose. After separating males and female in a single tank, with a partition glass, you can even use some kind of mesh material. I show in the video. You can closely observe. We can use a partition like cage like structures we can use. Inside the cage we can keep female and male outside. We can also breed this way. There are different methods available. The best and easiest method is putting a partition glass so that the male and female will keep on watching each other. So this is the process. This is a basic setup. So separation of male and female in a tank, then feeding them regularly bloodworms, providing the right water quality, and keeping a sponge filter on either side of the tank. One for the male side and one for the female side. These are the basic requirements for the breeding process. So keep watching this video. You will get the update about the breeding of the flowerhorn fish in the next part. So this part I have covered some of the basic requirements of the flowerhorn breeding process. In the next process, we will see what are the next things we have to do for the successful breeding of flowerhorn. Keep following, friends. Thank you.